criminal justice reform. So I was wondering if you have suggestions for the group on ways that we can get involved and help with that fight.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's a really personal choice. You could read, you could volunteer, you could, become an advocate, you could look to mobilize people. And then I think equally important is you could be kind to a returning citizen. That you could seek to understand or provide some comfort and make that pathway home a little less difficult. And that's it. I don't know if anyone else wants to make a recommendation. Sure. You could look up Uplift.
That's
where we are. We're at Uplift.
To the extent that I could offer anything about
well, I don't want to miss the opportunity to say this now. What could you do? And you gave so many wonderful examples. But I just want to say that come next October, here at Chestnut Hill College, up at Sugarloaf, we're going to have our 4th annual Transforming Justice Conference. And we have people from every field, whether they're lawyers or they work in so many counseling kinds of centers with youth, with all, I can hardly tell you all the things we do, but don't miss it as an opportunity to both learn more and advocate for more reform and also get actively involved in something that you can do. So that's coming up in October, right, Chief?
Absolutely.
So just let you know that I hope you'll stay tuned. Okay, thank you. It's a great question.
I would just simply say policy precedes most of the biases that we live in today. And there's an author by the name of Ibram Kendi. He's writing material on how to be an anti-racist. And what he did was he went back and went through the history, the written word, to find out when did we create this construct called race and how it has become so determinative in our social interaction. And one of the things that he highlights is that policy, the 5 of us sitting down here making decisions about what kind of rules or procedures are going to govern whatever social relationships that we are addressing. We put forth a policy, and after the policy comes the investment emotionally and psychologically and academically. And the example that I have is from a rebellion that took place in Virginia, where the slaves, the Irish, indentured servants, and a few other groups of people rebelled against the colony. And it was a year-long rebellion. When the gentleman who provoked it died, they tricked the people onto a boat and killed them all under an armistice. So when England was trying to figure out what went wrong, how come y'all didn't have control of this stuff? The reports that came back to them established that the people who had similar circumstances had band together to rebel against the colony. And what they did right then and there is they began a policy, this was coming from England, that said, give the whites, when they are free of their indentured servitude, give them so much money, so much land, and a gun. Don't give the Africans anything. Don't give the Native Americans anything. And what happened over a course of time is that white privilege was born. And of that white privilege, they were able to begin to separate people who had the same lot and have them identify with the colonialness and not identify with the people who were struggling and were oppressed. So policy precedes our emotional and psychological and academic investment. We just make up stuff. His brain is too small and his feet too fat. And, we just make up stuff to validate the class structure that we are imposing on everybody else because we retain the lion's share of privilege. And those people were not given franchise. They was just given a little land, guns, and a couple of dollars. Women were given half of what the men were given.
Other questions? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it would be a suggestion.